Hi, Gemini. So let's do a 12 house spread for you. I'm going to use 2 tarot decks. Judgment just wanted to pop out. So you may be making a high level decision right now, Gemini. But I'm going to lay out 12 cards from each of these 2 decks, 1 through 6 here and 7 through 12 here, to try to see what's going on in your astrological houses. So we have the 9 of Cups, 3 of Pentacles, King of Cups, the Fool, the Devil, King of Wands, the Witch, which is unique to this particular deck, Knight of Cups, the Chariot, 6 of Cups, Death, and finally 4 of Pentacles. And then we're going to do these 12 positions again with one more tarot deck, and then we're going to get into this for you, Gemini. So we have King of Swords, the Lovers, which I'm going to flip over, but that's you, Gemini. Page of Pentacles, 10 of Wands, 2 of Wands, the World, which I'm going to flip over. That's an amazing combination, but we'll get to that when we get to it. Ace of Swords, 5 of Wands, Death again, 10 of Swords, 6 of Swords, 7 of Wands. So I like to read the astro houses with their opposite. So for example, I like to read the first house with the 7th house and the second house with the 8th house. So that's how I read these astrological houses. So if we start with the first house, which is the house of self, this is you. Look at you. There you are, Gemini, King of Swords, and you're in the house of self. So you are standing very squarely in your intellect, in your intelligence. You are probably not overlooking any important details. This gives me a feeling that you are paying very close attention to what's going on. And also, this is a perfect card, the 9 of Cups, to have in the house of self, because it is a card of self joy and satisfaction and just happiness with yourself, being comfortable in your own skin. And I see that for you, Gemini. And I can't wait to get over here to the 6th house, but I'm gonna chill, and we'll get there when we get there. But that may be why you are feeling so good about yourself and why this is happening in your 6th house, because you're standing very clearly in your authenticity right now. So then in the 7th house is the house of balance. This can sometimes be our partnerships. And I see the Witch and I see the Ace of Swords. So it feels like there is definitely a person in your energy who you're jiving with. That this Ace of Swords person feels like your truth. They feel like they are truthful. There's all these feelings of just a good match. You're holding the sword of truth. The sword of truth is showing up in your house of balance. So it feels like you have a really good, even maybe perhaps spiritual connection with someone. This does not have to be a love interest, although a lot of times our house of balance is about our love interests, but it can be really about relationships in general, people, just interpersonal relationships. But it feels like you have a good balance here, someone who balances you out pretty well, and someone who may also have some kind of spiritual gifts that is around you at this time. So then in your house of resources, we have the 3 of Pentacles and the Lovers. So you are really working hard, and it feels like there is some kind of a collaboration going on. Your resources are being pulled in by some kind of help that you're getting from another person. And with the Lovers showing up here, that's, again, you're showing up very squarely in these first couple of houses, which is very important. But the 3 of Pentacles showing up in your house of resources is important too, in the sense that there is someone that you're working with, someone that you're collaborating with, and it feels like it's going to be very prosperous, because whenever I see Pentacles in the house of resources, it almost always means money. So it does feel like you're taking care of business in that sense. But especially with this house of balance, there being a very clear, supportive, like-minded person in your energy, I feel like that could be who you are collaborating with. So then the house of resources, I always read this with the house of transformation. And in this, we have the Knight of Cups and the Five of Wands. So what is this here that you are transforming about yourself? What is this? There's a Knight of Cups and a Five of Wands. So the Knight of Cups is generally the card of romance, the romantic hero. But I see also in the house of self that you're kind of self-indulging right now. That maybe you know it's time to focus on yourself. It's time to heal yourself. That maybe you're doing some shadow work. So it feels like you're kind of fighting some kind of romantic feelings right now. Maybe you're just keeping to yourself. This partnership feels more business than romance to me. So make this part make sense for you, but it feels like you're fighting off some kind of romantic relationship, romantic feelings. Maybe you're just not even dating right now. You could just be denying yourself that right now because you feel like it's not the right time. And that may be the part of you that is transforming, that maybe you used to focus too much on romance and now you're focused more on your business. That's what that feels like so far. So then this is the house of sharing, and this is the house of purpose. So generally the house of sharing is about your everyday interactions, the things and the people that you spend time with, and the give and take of your daily life, where the house of purpose is more about what you put out into the world. So I'm seeing King of Cups and Page of Pentacles. So you have a very balanced emotional center when it comes to the people that you share your life and your surroundings with. This could be children around you, students around you. You could be learning something. You could be going to school. But whatever it is, it feels very mature. It feels very balanced. It feels very open. So you could be studying whatever this thing is that you're trying to collaborate with, whatever you're bringing, whatever is bringing in those resources for you, you could be learning about it and studying it and just getting better at it, taking a chance at something. The pages are often risk takers because they're youthful energy, they're fearless, they have nothing but potential. And so I feel like there may be something heart-centered here that you are really taking a risk on in your everyday life. And again, I can't help but think it has to do with whatever this is that you're collaborating, whatever you're building, whatever you're working on. Because look at what your purpose is. This is what you're meant to bring into the world. We have the Chariot and we have death. So this thing that you're bringing into the world, perhaps the thing you're studying, perhaps the thing that you're working on, perhaps the thing that you're making money on, that's the thing you're meant to bring into the world, because it's supposed to be transformative for the world, because this is in your house of purpose. It's not the things that you share your everyday people with. It's the things that you share with the rest of Earth, with the rest of humanity. And we have two majors in that. So this tells me that whatever you're working on is really meant to help transform other people. I'm also getting a sense with the Chariot and the Death card that you're meant to help people do their shadow work, and that you're meant to show them ways to, maybe even swiftly with the Chariot, show them how to work through their shadow work. So that could be the thing you're working on, which may be why you're not focused on romance right now. You have perhaps a lot of other things going on. So in the house of home, we have the Fool and the 10 of Wands. And I'm reading this with the house of enterprise, but we have two tens. So we have a 10 of Wands in the house of home and a 10 of Swords in the house of enterprise. And we're getting a Fool card. So the tens are very often, usually, the end of a cycle. And the Fool is a brand new cycle with no baggage. The 10 of Wands is the card of baggage. So this is really telling me that you are ready to let something go when it comes to your home, your inner circle, the people you surround yourself with. It's similar to the house of sharing, but this is more like your inner circle, perhaps even your actual home, the people you live with. So this can very much be indicative of someone who's downsizing a home because you're putting down all this baggage and you're going lightly. So you could be moving, you could be relocating. Make that part make sense for you. There could be people moving in and out of your house. So make that part make sense for you. But it does feel like a massive shift when it comes to your home life. And then with enterprise, it's the 6 of Cups and the 10 of Swords. So you are putting an ending to some kind of a career that you've had for a very long time with the Six of Cups. So, and again, I can't wait to get to this position, which we will. I'm not going to leave you on that cliffhanger, but this is really saying that there's a huge shift in your career right now, a huge one. And it feels like you understood that you are enough, we'll get to that, to do this on your own. That perhaps if you worked for a corporation for a long time or business partners you had in the past, you know it's over. It's done like dinner. It doesn't necessarily have to be a betrayal like the Ten of Swords often is, but it's certainly an irreversible ending, that something happened in your career that you just decided, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore, and I'm going to move on to something else. This Fool and the Ten of Wands energy in your home position could also be about you beginning to work from home, that you're quitting a job, a very long-term job with this Six of Cups, and beginning something on your own at home. So then in the House of Pleasure, we have the Devil and the Two of Wands. So this to me feels like you're having some kind of change of mind, some kind of change of plans when it comes to the things that give you pleasure, that you may be shifting, because in this House of Transformation, maybe before where you thought romance was all you needed and you liked to be swept off your feet, or you liked having that dopamine or whatever that is that you get when you get the butterflies, when you fall in love, that kind of thing. It feels like you're having a whole change of mind about what actually brings you pleasure. And it feels like right now you being focused on your purpose and you being focused on whatever this new thing is that you're beginning and that you're bringing into the world, and you're studying and you're learning more about, and it feels like your truth, and you found collaborators, you found your soul tribe. You're understanding now what used to bring you pleasure was more superficial, and the things that you're bringing in now are more real, are more authentic. You have a more authentic pleasure center now. Because then in your House of Blessings, you have Death and the Six of Cups, Six of Swords. The Six of Cups was here. But this is the same thing. You know that you find your true joy. Your true blessings only start coming in when you go through that massive transformation, when perhaps you fight off that need to have attention or the butterflies or feel loved or affection or whatever that is for you, that this transformation you're going through is helping you to really escape from this devil energy that used to be around you, that you're having this change of plans with. And I know it's a change of plans because the Two of Wands is here and the Six of Swords is here. So it feels like you are really escaping this old energy and you are becoming a really transformed version of yourself. You're putting down these tens and you're starting with no baggage. So then let's get to this really, really fun part that I've been wanting to get to. So in the House of Health and Service, you have the King of Wands and the World. So this is basically the thing you do every day. This is like your job, your 9-to-5 job. But because in the House of Enterprise, I see an ending of something you've done for a long time, this is telling me that you are leading. So it's confirming what I was already getting, that perhaps you're starting something from home. You're starting from scratch. You're dropping the baggage of this work you used to do. You've completed cycles. Maybe you've graduated from something. Maybe you've earned your certification for something, because we see the Page of Pentacles and the World. And when I see the Page of Pentacles and the World together, that's my student and my graduation. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a literal studying, but it could be that you have learned enough. And the King of Wands is my card of boss. So you are becoming your own boss is what I'm getting. And I saw that perhaps you were starting something from home. So again, it doesn't have to necessarily be home, but it could be yours. It's your baby. It's your inner circle. It's your business. It's your thing. You are the boss. You've completed this cycle of whatever enterprise was for you, and you're completely transforming who you are. There's this idea of you detaching from the old you, and that's probably why we see you standing so clearly in your own energy, because you're super authentic right now, Gemini, super authentic. So then in the House of Sacrifice, we have the Four of Pentacles and the Seven of Wands, and I think this is really just you releasing finally the need to hold back, the need to defend yourself. Once you step into your most authentic self, hello, Gemini, once you do that, which it looks like you have, Once you step into your true authentic self, it doesn't matter anymore. You don't have to defend yourself. You don't have to hold back because all of a sudden you realize that what other people think, it just doesn't matter. So, wow, Gemini, what a cool reading. I love doing these. And I picked Gemini to do this because, as usual, you guys were my highest viewed videos from last week. So, I thank you for that. This is just a thank you that I wanted to do a 12 card or a 12 house spread for you. So, there you go, Gemini. Will you please let me know how this was resonant for you? Consider subscribing to the channel if you like my vibe. And we will do this again sometime. Thanks, everybody. Bye.